We are back here again with another top 5 list. This time it is the top 5 intermediate, towers. Now this isn't going to be a top 5 best. If you want to see that, comment or something, I don't know. But anyway, back to the video.
Number 27.
Say goodnight! Burning its way into the number 5 spot is the Pyro. This guy is one of those early starter towers, or whatever you want to call them, where you're probably thinking to not place them down immediately. However, when you do finally place them down, he does not disappoint you. You're probably thinking his flame tower is going to do a decent amount of damage, or not that great. However, the fact that he can target multiple enemies at once, and if you actually change his attack style or whatever to the farthest, he attacks basically a lot of them all at once, and basically makes sure to not leave any of them alive, any that pass by. So that's a little bit of a tip. But also the fact that even if enemies do get out of his range, they have a little bit of a afterburning effect to where they literally continue to burn little by little until they eventually die, or the effect just goes away even after they get out of his attack radius or whatever. However, just the fact that literally if you place down multiple of these guys, obviously all over the path, it's still really cool to look out, just this constant fire, all of these enemies just being burn after burn of a second, and literally not having a break whatsoever. And also the fact that this guy is actually decent in in hardcore for the start of the game, and then the entire game he's just pretty much useless because he can actually take down lead units or enemies or whatever. But also the fact that literally in every other game mode he's just as good, because literally the fact that he can take down multiple enemies at once, take down their health and armor they have if they have any, he's just a unit that you're always probably considering, maybe I should put him in my loadout because I probably forgot how great he was. And also the fact that he does have a gold version where he's a lot stronger, I believe. So yeah, there's a little bit of a bonus. Don't know what else to say. Pyro, you are pretty steamy.
Number 16.
Next up, we have the Militant. I'm pretty sure that's how I'm pronouncing it. So this guy is pretty much the upgraded version of the Soldier. Now, when I mean upgraded version, I mean he's literally a direct upgrade from him. Not only does he not have a 3-rounded burst assault rifle or whatever, but his weapon is completely single-fired mode or whatever. However, when you continue to upgrade him, it feels like he has an assault rifle, because he is just constantly blasting bullets left and right and just will not stop. And I don't really know how he has so much ammo in his magazine, so I'm probably gonna have to put that in the future top 5. This doesn't make sense. But anyway, this guy is pretty strong. Even just by literally placing him down, he was actually relatively useful. Now, considering that he doesn't have a gold version for some reason, I don't know why they gave it to the Soldier, not the Militant, but I guess they need to make the Soldier a bit better or whatever. Just the fact that this guy is literally a little bit better than a lot of the intermediate other troops or whatever, just makes it so that this guy is always worth to just put in your loadout every once in a while. Now, I do have to admit that there are a few other better towers or whatever than him, but just the fact that literally you can place down multiple of these guys and they pretty much act like a mini gunner, and I don't know what else to say. This guy just destroys enemies' HP. And also when you continue to upgrade him, you for whatever reason see that on the profile. I don't know what that's supposed to be. No, and I don't care about who that is supposed to be. But it's kind of weird. I don't know why there's that guy and not a soldier, because I mean a soldier, so there's that. But anyway, this guy is very good at what he's doing. He's a beast at literally destroying enemies, and he's just always fun to basically have around in a military type of loadout.
Number 7.
Rolling its way into number 3 is the military base. Now, the military base is by far the first ever, troop or whatever that you actually get to see of a spawning other troops over time. Now, once you place this thing down, you're probably confused on what the hell you're supposed to do with it. Well, basically in the first upgrade, it takes around a minute or so for these cars or whatever vehicles to actually pop out of your HQ hole and to basically roll down the enemies, or just to basically drive them over. Now, the fact that this thing doesn't really have that much HP kind of sucks. However, when you do upgrade it to its, I'm pretty sure, second upgrade, it does get more HP, and the fact that it, more vehicles get to come around every 30 seconds is great. Now, one of the other cool things about it is that if you upgrade it to its fourth upgrade, it actually gets a gunner on the top of the vehicle and, well, can basically gun down any troops nearby, and then eventually just crashes into a bigger, stronger enemy, dealing a pretty amount of damage, if I do have to say so myself. Now, once you continue to upgrade it, it becomes a fucking tank, literally a tank, pretty fast for some reason, and the fact that literally it actually shoots down these enemies as well as, with its cannon or whatever, is pretty cool, with also a machine gunner as well. And then when you get to finally upgrade it to its last upgrade, which is like this futuristic tank, is also pretty good. Now, the thing I really just kind of don't like about this thing is the fact that, well, it doesn't really do that much damage, but the cool thing is that you get to place down 5 of these army camps or whatever, so that basically means that literally you would just have 5 vehicles every 30 seconds just popping out, rolling over enemies or running over enemies, gunning them down, crashing into them, dealing a ton of damage all at once. And I don't know what it is, just following a vehicle as it makes its way is pretty badass looking, and it's always a really fun troop to put in your loadout every once in a while.
Number 9.
Number 2, we have the Rocketeer. I remember the first time when I unlocked this guy, I thought he was actually going to be the best troop out of literally every single, section of troops or whatever. And I was not too wrong. He is pretty powerful. However, the fact that he has a little bit of a pretty big, red range, to where literally if enemies actually get to that red range of his, then he won't attack them, which kind of sucks. However, just the fact that he does so much damage, I guess it is pretty reasonable that he does have that kind of a disadvantage, because if he didn't, I think he would be pretty strong. So even though he is strong, I wouldn't say he is the most powerful in the entire game, basically. Now, the cool thing about this guy is that literally the more you upgrade him, the way powerful he gets to be. Now, one of the cool things I love to actually do when I'm using these guys is to place down 8 of them, change the attack thing to random, to where literally they just shoot at whatever enemy they want, and all you see is constant explosions. And also, if you're thinking that the random style attack thing is the worst thing ever, just know that they have a blast radius, and literally it will also damage, other enemies, so it's not a bad thing at all. But also, the really cool thing about this guy is the fact that, its final upgrade allows him to get a literal cannon from like World War whatever 2 probably, and literally it does so much damage. It has a huge attack radius, to where literally they could just shoot shoot out they can literally shoot out a giant rocket cannon shot or whatever shell, and it literally just mows down hellfire or whatever to these enemies. He's always just a really fun unit to basically put in your loadout every once in a while. And I remember when I first got him for the very first time, he was so much fun, and he did not disappoint me whatsoever. Very cool unit.
Number 1.
Check this out.
Can fix anything, right? My TV's broken? Yeah. Holy shit.
Did we really not have to put this at the number 1 spot? I know I did. I know I said this wasn't a best top list, but I do have to admit, this thing is just so powerful and so unexpected. We have the Farm. The Farm is by far the most powerful support type of tower in the entire game. Now, the thing about this guy is not basically what it does, it's basically what it gives you in return. So the thing about this is that as soon as you place it down at the start of every wave, you will get a bunch of money. It starts off at 50 bucks to 100, 250 to 750, then to finally 1500 or whatever. And the fact that you can place down 8 of these bastards and they give you so much money all at once, all together, is just so great. It really changes the way on how you basically get your loadout in basically your loadout or whatever, how you basically choose your troops, because it's not like oh fuck, I can only place down one of these expensive guys, probably a DJ, but I'm not gonna be able to afford them all, mostly all of them, because number one, I'm not even gonna get that much money, and number two, it's just the fact that, you know, I won't be able to afford those very final upgrades or whatever. However, with the farm being able to assist you, everything just gets dropped out of the water. Sure, it does take up an inventory slot or whatever, but the fact that literally it helps you out so much to basically get prepared so much faster and to upgrade things a lot faster and a lot more efficiently, I don't know what else to say. This thing is so crazy that when I first looked at it, I was like, what the hell? Why are people using this? And then I read what it does and what it did in game to basically to other people who had it before me. I just thought, how is this not nerfed or whatever? Even though this thing is pretty powerful, it's not too powerful. I don't know what else to say, but all I have to do or basically say is that everyone is a top tier farmer to basically get $1,500 from one day of farming.